Hello there, my name is Alex Nisbet, and I would like to show you my current video game collection. I started collecting video games in 2012, starting with Super Nintendo games, and then I kind of got into NES games, and then I got a lot of NES games, and kind of spread to different consoles, and even to this day, I'm still collecting new games for like different consoles. I almost exclusively collect games from Nintendo consoles since that's just what I'm familiar with and that's just what I like doing. But the last time I made a video about my game collection, it was in 2017. So I definitely think an update video is 100% necessary because I got a lot to show you. And so let's just get right into it. Alrighty, let's start with this thing over here. This is just a Super Mario poster. I just really like it. Yeah. Over here we actually can see there is a little thing right here, and it's actually this thing. It's like this little Pokemon thing, and it has my Game Boy Advance SP in it. I think it also has some games in there, but again, just another thing I got, from eBay. I buy almost all of my retro video game stuff from eBay, and I think that's okay. I bought like literally thousands of things on eBay. About my collection, exactly. I've been collecting for a long time, and I have just a ton of games. I think it's like I have over 200 NES games. I don't know exactly how much, but it's something like that. And it's kind of crazy to think about because for the longest time, the collection used to be like a small little cabinet or whatever. It used to be like a small little cabinet like right here, and it had like 30 games in it or something like that. But now it's like this huge thing that like occupies a big portion of this room. And it's just kind of crazy to think about. I have all different kinds of games. To let you in on that, I have like this game, Alter Ego. This is actually a homebrew game or something like that. These two games, A Winner Is You and Assimilate, I think these are also homebrews that I got from RetroUSB.com. They made this HD NES console called the AVS. I actually have it right over there, baby. Yeah, and they also made some new homebrew games, and so I got them, and you can tell because they have like the yellow labels on them. This game over here says Gyromite. It's actually a multi-cart that I put on a Famicom converter, and then I put that in an NES cart. So there's that. I also have this weird multi-cart. This is 31 game in one. It's very odd. I got it a couple years ago. Yeah, from some guy in Canada. One other interesting thing about my NES collection right here is that I actually own all the baseball games for the NES. I have Baseball Simulator, I guess 1000, Baseball Stars 1 and 2, and then this is Bases Loaded 1, 2, 3, and 4. And unfortunately, with the first game, on the end label, it just says Jaleco, but it actually says Bases Loaded on the other side. And then I have, I think it's Cyber Stadium Series Base Wars. I have that game. And then I have a few other ones kind of scattered around, but whatever. I have these two homebrews, Battle Kid and then Battle Kid 2. I have a reproduction cart, Bioforce Ape. This was the first ever reproduction cartridge I ever bought, so that was pretty cool. This is another homebrew Blockout. Oh, Bo Jackson Baseball. Okay, that's another baseball game. Burger Time, that's good. The California Raisins, this is another homebrew I got, but I put it on a red cartridge since I liked red a little bit more. Something else that was interesting is that I originally got it in like a weird gold cartridge. Oh, actually golden. It was like spray painted golden. And the weird thing is that it kind of like the paint was sort of rubbing off on other cartridges, and that's not really a good thing. So when that happens, I just replace it with like a different cartridge and I get a different label. Over here we have this game called Chunk Out 2. This was the very first NES homebrew I bought from RetroUSB.com. I liked it because it's red. That's actually probably why I bought it. I have Color a Dinosaur for some really weird reason. Comes with a little sleeve. Yeah, this, oh, okay, this is cool. This right here, All right. Come on. Okay. Data East All-Star Collection. So somehow, I'm not sure, but I guess Data East still exists, and they put like some of their games on like an NES cartridge, and they like repackaged it and whatnot. It's not like sealed by Nintendo or anything like that, but it's just very interesting. And I got it, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Doesn't have an end label though. That's a little weird, I guess, but oh well. Over here, Drax Night Out. This is another reproduction cartridge I put on a green cartridge. We have we have Fix It Felix Jr. from Wreck-It Ralph. We have that as a game, but I'm pretty sure it's not authorized. Shh. We also have Flappy Bird. Someone put Flappy Bird on NES, I guess. Well, I bought it, so yeah. Flip Pole, I think that's in the homebrew. This right here is something very interesting. This is like some weirdo like 401 cartridge, and it works. It's just one of those odd, bizarre things that I see sometimes on eBay. There's quite a lot of NES like multi-carts floating around. I actually own like quite a lot of them. And interestingly, like they're pretty cheap, you know, they boast like hundreds and hundreds of games on them. And for a lot of people, they choose to get that rather than collect all these games because it takes up lots of shelf space and then, you know, it saves a lot of money. So a lot of people buy those multi-carts, and I don't know where they come from, or if it's some guy making a lot of them, but they're very plentiful online. And so I actually have a couple different ones of my own. Over here we have Happily Never After. That's another reproduction cartridge. We have this weird game, Hatris. It's Tetris, but with hats. It's very weird. Here we have Homebrew World Championships 2012, and it has just some games on them from the time. It's kind of good. Let's see here. Indiana Jones, Jaws. Jaws, this game right here was one of the first NES games I ever bought. That's kind of cool. Card Fighter. Card Fighter is a really weird, like, kind of crappy game. It's like some homebrew thing. Yeah, whatever. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. This game right here, Kickle Cubicle. This is kind of a good game. It's very underrated. However, my copy weirdly has this on it. It says property of A1 Video, and then it has like an address and like some phone number. Don't go to this place and don't call their number, please. But it's very weird that I see this because I don't like it. If you have like a game store or you're selling games, don't like write stuff on the cartridge because this is like permanent, you know, and I can't like really get it off too easily. That just sucks. I mean, I'm glad it's not on this side, but still, they like put all the information on there, and it's just kind of frustrating and weird. You know, so don't really do that. That's not a good idea. At least put it in like some wrapping and then write it on, you know, the wrapping, but whatever. I have Clax. Yeah, Clax. I have all the Simpsons games on NES, which includes Krusty's Funhouse. Landmaster. This is another homebrew, I think. And then Lawnmower. Someone made a goddamn lawnmower game. Okay. I have Legends of the Diamond. This is another baseball game that I own on NES. However, extremely weirdly, it's called Legends of the Diamond, which when I first heard of it, I didn't think it was a baseball game, and I was like, oh, Diamond, yeah, I get it. But the weird thing, and the extremely weird thing about this game, is that on the end label, it's misspelled. I'm going to get a good look at that. Yeah, Legends of the Diamond. Yeah, on every single copy of this game I can find, the end label has it like wrong for some reason. I don't know why or why they would do that, or maybe that's intentional in some way. I'm not sure. Over here we have Little Samson. This is my own copy of Little Samson on a blue cartridge I put it on. And that's actually another thing that's very interesting about collecting with me, is that I have this sort of rule where I would never pay more than $100 for a single game. For me, at least in my opinion, that's just way too much. I just don't want to do that. For other people, you know, that's different, and that's perfectly okay with them. It's their money and their choice. But for me, I do want to collect games and play them, but I don't want to spend crazy amounts. So Some of these, you know, like are like reproduction cartridges of other games. However, Little Samson, you know, obviously that's a fake because it's blue. That's really easy to tell. However, that only cost me like 40 bucks or something like that. And I really like it because I have it as a physical cartridge, but I didn't have to spend a fortune on it, you know, and I could still play it, you know. I wouldn't want to buy it for a whole like ton of money or whatever. I'd rather save that money for something else. If a game is really expensive or hard to come by, or you know, there's not a lot of them out there, I would 100% choose to buy a reproduction cartridge any day of the week. Because even though the label doesn't look perfect, even though yada yada isn't perfect, you know, it still doesn't really matter all that much to me. So, you know, there's that. I got some other games here, rolling in the M's. Yikes. Over here we have some more games. We got Metroid, Punch Out, okay, Milon Secret Castle, oh boy. MLB, another baseball game. I put it under MLB, even though I know it stands for Major League Baseball. Some people put that under MA for major, but whatever. This right here, is another multi-cart. It has a bunch of NES games on it, and it has a bunch of Famicom games. Weirdly, if you look really closely, you can actually see it's actually a Famicom cartridge on a converter, I think. I'm not 100% sure about this, you know. However, I was wondering why it came in such an ugly looking cartridge. However, I soon realized that it actually glows in the dark. That's why it's colored that way. And I thought that was actually kind of cool. There's a Monopoly game. I have that also in other Monopoly games. I have this weird red game. NES Virus Cleaner. That's another homebrew. NFL. Okay, this is weird. NES test cartridge. This is literally a test cartridge they used for testing Nintendo Entertainment Systems, and this is a reproduction of that, it says there. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things that really shouldn't qualify as a game because it's actually not even really a game, but, you know, oh well. Over here we got more games, Power Coloring, Quadro Lords, I think. We got some other stuff, RBI Baseball 1, 2, and 3, Roger Clemens MVP Baseball, I think that's over here. We have Panic Restaurant. We have a reproduction of Panic Restaurant. Its cartridge looks a little weird and funky to me, but you know, whatever. Nothing's perfect, I guess. We got the 3 RoboCop games. There's like 4 like Sesame Street related games on NES. That's just really weird. But then again, there was a Fisher Price game I can remember, you know, like some memory game, you know. Oh, and by the way, there's also Dusty Diamond's All-Star Softball, the most expensive baseball game. I know it's softball technically, but whatever. Yeah. Oh, I also have DuckTales, and then I have DuckTales 2. DuckTales 2, this is a reproduction cartridge of, but yeah, that's just kind of cool. Over here, we just got other stuff. We got Snoopy, Snake Rattle and Roll. We got Silver Surfer, Shooting Range, Side Pocket. You know, the other kind of stuff, you know. And then over here, we got some other kind of goodies. We have a Sonic the Hedgehog game that's actually this homebrew on a cartridge. We have Spot. We have 2 Star Trek games. This is like the 25th anniversary. This is Star Trek 5, based off the movie. This is a reproduction. Here we have Study Hall. It's a homebrew. Sunman. This is another reproduction on a blue cartridge. And here we have Super Games 143 in 1. It's another multi-cart, and I think it looks really cool because it's green. These weird colored cartridges just catch my attention, and then it just makes me want to buy it. You know, that's just the sad truth. We have also Super Games 501 right next to it, because all this is in alphabetical, but you know, you have to kind of take a few liberties with that. Oh well. More games. We got TNC Surf Design, Tecmo Baseball, Tecmo Bowl, Teen Mutant Ninja Turtles. I messed that up. Tennis, Terminator, Tetris, and then Tetris 2, which is really interesting. Adventure of Link, the Black Bass, the Blues Brothers, the Great Waldo Search. So we're clearly at the best games ever at this point. Other stuff, we got Tom and Jerry, Three Stooges, some more Simpsons games, The Rocketeer, Total Recall, 12 Seconds, Trog. Trog is a great game. You should play Trog. Trog, come on, great game. Yeah. All right, Videomation, that's not really even a game. Where's Waldo? I own some Jeopardy games and some Wheel of Fortune games. Yeah. And here we got X-Men, we got Yo-Noid, and we got the 2 Yoshi games. Over here we have Super Nintendo. It's just these 3 right here, and plus there's a little bit of stuff over there. Again, alphabetical order. So we got stuff like Balls, Batman Forever, Batman Returns. We got the 2 Bubsy games. We got a similar SNES test cartridge. Looks like that. We actually have this extremely weird thing. Like, usually you see like lots of weird NES cartridges and whatnot, because NES just has so many different species to it. But with SNES, it's just kind of very limited. However, this is an SNES multi-cart. It's called like Classic Edition 60-in-1. It's very strange. Obviously with like stolen artwork and whatnot. Oh well. Donkey Kong Country, Doom, I loved it. Okay, Faceball, alright, Dream TV, we got Indiana Jones. Oh yeah, I also own a reproduction cartridge of Hong Kong 97. Very interesting. What a great game that is. Come on. Yeah. Mario Paint, that game is awesome. I have like the, oh yeah, here it is. I have like the Mario mouse, the thing you use. It's very epic. I don't have the pad, but whatever, you know. Miss Pac-Man, that was also one of the first SNES games I bought. Another Monopoly game. We got some golf thing, Pilot Wings, Pinball Dreams, RoboCop vs. the Terminator, some Shaq Fu, oh god, SimCity, yes. And then SNES Classic Edition 123-in-1, non-repeating. Yeah. I guess it's very similar to the other cartridge we saw earlier. Space Invaders, we got Star Fox, and we also got Star Fox 2. Star Fox 2 is a reproduction cartridge. Over here, we got a Street Fighter. We have Super 101 and Super 110-in-1. This is a purple game. I don't think I've ever gotten a purple game before. It's very interesting. Super Back to the Future 2. This is another reproduction cartridge. It's just a theme, I guess. Super Battle Tank, Super Bowling. I love bowling video games. Okay, I have like Championship Bowling up there for the NES. It's like the only like NES bowling game. There's also a few other kind of stuff on Famicom, but whatever. Yeah. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart. I don't have like all the classics and all like the amazing things, you know, but yeah, I have enough. Okay. Over here, we actually have Atari games. Atari, I actually don't really have a whole lot. I have like Defender, Combat, E.T., Frogger. I have Pac-Man. Pac-Man is the first game I played. Video Pinball is actually up there. Space Jockey, and yeah, so we only have a small little bit right here. It's gonna grow in the future, I bet. But you know, over here we actually, I'm going out of order, unfortunately, but oh well. We have just 5, count them, 5 GameCube games, with 2 of them being Shrek. So that's 40% of my GameCube games are Shrek related, so it's pretty good. We also have all my Wii games over here. Some of them are really old, like Mario Kart Wii. I've had that game for an extremely long time. This is my favorite video game of all time. Just yeah. Lego Harry Potter. We also got Super Mario Brothers Wii, Space Camp, Simpsons game. I remember playing that a lot. Toy Story 3 and Wii Play. Wii Play is alright, I guess. I also have some Wii U games. I'm not too big on the Wii U. I think it's okay. But I just got some stuff for it, like Mario Kart 8 and then the Luigi thing and whatnot. Also have some stuff down here, some zombie game and whatnot. Also, I do have a Famicom collection, and it's right up here. It's just some of these games. Like, one of these games is like some Garfield thing or whatever. Come on. Yeah, Week of Garfield. I don't have a lot. I only have about 5 or 6. And it's just really weird how there's just such a range of colors for Famicom games. Yeah. I also have a Famicom disk drive, and I only have like 1 game for it. And it's this game. Some go-go bowling game, you know. Yeah. I also have the Transformers Famicom game, and I have, this right here is a boxed Super Famicom Tetris game. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but well. Over here, I have the Game Genie, very interesting. And then also I have the Super Game Boy, very cool. Yeah. And right here we have a lone N64 game I need to put back in the collection. But speaking of N64, we have N64 games, which again only occupy a small amount. And I already talked about this in a previous video, but the labels, the end labels here I bought from eBay are up there. Some guy on eBay was just selling all these stickers for N64 collectors like me, who really just don't like it how they don't have end labels on their own. So some people make their own or write it on the side or whatever, but these look really good. So I just have only like a few noteworthy games. I have some Pikachu game, Excite Bike, a bowling game. I have Mario Kart 64. There's Monopoly again, god damn it. Some NFL thing. I have a lot of sports games because they're pretty cheap and I can get my hands on them really easily. Superman. I also have the 3 Tony Hawk games. But yeah, that's pretty much kind of it. I have a like Toy Story 2 back there and whatnot. Yeah, I also have some Godzilla tournament fighter game over there for the Super Famicom. I also have right here a Game Boy Color. Yeah, Game Boy Color. Yeah, very cool, very interesting. Over here, I have the Game Boy in its special little case, but I also have the 3DS right next to it, and I have this little wireless thing accessory for the NES. Over here, be very careful. Okay. Oh, by the way, that's another lone NES game I need to put in its collection. We have, what the heck are these? Oh yeah, I have some Game Boy and some really, I think it's like some Game Boy and Game Boy Color games or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of tossed it in a bag one day. Yeah, we're just leaving it there. Okay, so we got through that, Over here, we just have some extra stuff I have. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I might like try to sort it out someday. Maybe, maybe not. Over here, I have a boxed Famicom game. It's another baseball thing. Yeah, lots of baseball. And over here, I'm not too big on boxed games. Like, I actually really am not. But if I can find it for a pretty good price, then I will, snag it up. Over here, we have the 3DS box. Yeah, we actually have Wii Sports hanging out over there. There you go. Yeah, but I have like a couple of these. I have it for some bowling game. I have it for Frogger, which interestingly is the last game ever released on the Super Nintendo. Way to go out on a good note. We have On the Ball, and I also have another reproduction cartridge. I have it of Super 3D Noah's Ark, and some guy like made some sort of custom cartridge or whatever, and a new manual and whatnot. Looks pretty good. I appreciate the work. Even if it's not cardboard, it's still good. Battleship, and then Super Empire Strikes Back. These are also what I was talking about earlier with Data East. They made these newly produced Super Nintendo games, but they weren't like really actually Super Nintendo games. They just sort of looked like them. And then we got a Joe and Mac thing, and then a Super Brawlers pack. We got some sort of Data East Classic collection. All these are sealed, and like I said, they're all like pretty relatively new. So that's kind of cool, actually. That they do that. Yeah. So over here we have some kind of miscellaneous and other things. I have 2 NES consoles right there, but both of them don't really work that well. I either need to fix them or I don't know what I'm gonna do exactly. Over here I have a GameCube. I like the GameCube. By the way, all the cords here are actually in a different box, or actually this box over there. I keep the cords separate from the console when I'm not like using them, just to prevent dust. Dust is a huge issue. There's just dust everywhere. Dust on the shelves, dust on the games. I like cleaned it all today, but yeah. These are some wireless controllers for the NES. Over here we have, these aren't really even related. I had a white Nintendo Wii that I originally used a long time, but then that one kind of broke down, so I got this black Wii many years ago. But now I just play Wii games on the Wii U. The graphics just look better. But I have like a plug and play thing here. It's very cool. And then I also have this thing I've already mentioned, but this thing is a 3.8 millimeter screw for opening up NES games. I bought this a long time ago and it's very useful to me. Over here we have something else kind of silly. We have this thing right here. It's like some sort of a toy from like, I don't know, McDonald's or something. This is like pretty old. This is from like 2007 or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't, it's just like a thing, I guess. Over here we have, wait, what are these? Oh yeah, I have like some pins or whatever, but I also have Luigi, Waluigi, and a Goomba. These little figurines I bought from Walmart. Just, yeah, I don't know. Just kind of there. Oh yeah, I have an N64 too. Yeah, just kind of hanging around there. And here we have the other shelf that I'm gonna build someday. Yeah, there's the Atari 2600. Get a good look at that. Yep. We also have Shrek Monopoly. Good. But yeah, in these two boxes, they just have like a bunch of cords in them and stuff like that. I think we covered all the stuff over there, or almost all of it. Over here we have I forget what it's called, like some Pro Controller or Classic Controller, I don't know. We have an NES Advantage, and then we have the AVS that I was talking about. We have a Wii wheel for some reason. We have the other Wii I was talking about. We have this really weird book I bought about NES games. And then we have a bunch of Atari, sort of these little controllers and accessories. Actually, this is a charger for the Game Boy Advance SP. We have an NES game here. Yep. We have some Atari Pong accessories or something like that. There's also like a nunchuck thrown in there. I don't know, something like that. We have a Super Nintendo console right here. Very interesting. Love it. I also have the NES cleaning kit boxed. Very cool. And then I also have just, I need to put these somewhere soon, but got some Wii manual thing. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm looking at. Yeah. Some instruction manual came with it. Yeah. And then that too. Very cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've had this in my possession since 2012, but yeah. It's a very cool thing. It's very yellow though, unfortunately. I got it, like that, of course, but yeah, very cool. First retro console I ever bought, and I think Doom was the first retro video game I ever popped into the Super Nintendo and played. Yeah, really quickly, I realize I'm kind of doing things really out of order here. I have another plug and play in the box of Pac-Man, and it comes with like all these different levels and stuff like that. It's very cool. Over here we have something from Walmart. We have some sort of a Space Invaders kind of arcade little thing right here where you can like kind of play it and whatnot. Very cool, actually. I like it. And then I have 4 amiibos. Yep. And then I have the Wii U. I have it kind of over there, but I don't know. I have the box I originally bought in, and then I have the stickers up there. And yeah. Over here, I also got this thing for the Wii U. I don't know. By the way, this is the Wii U. Yeah, I just use it to play Mario Kart Wii, which is my favorite video game ever. I play with the GameCube. Yeah. And over here we have some Super Nintendo controllers. I really like the Super Nintendo controller. I just love it. We have a nunchuck. I also have 2 like these cool custom N64 controllers that are like green. I just like that so much. It just looks so cool. More controllers. I have another NES Advantage. We have an Atari 26 controller over there. I also have this weird thing. It's from RetroUSB.com. Basically, you plug this into your Wii, and you can plug like a NES controller in there, so you can play like, you can use the NES controller on your Wii, I guess. Yeah. It's actually kind of cool though. I better open up and use it someday. Over here we have 2 NES zappers. These things are just really weird to me. Yeah. We have another really weird Wii remote controller. It has like these weird 2 buttons. It's like some off-brand kind of thing, but I don't know about it. We also have this weird little jelly case thing that the Wiimotes came in. I never really quite liked them, but you know, they exist, I guess. Oh yeah, and I accidentally forgot, but I actually got some games recently, like this game, Fossil Fighters, and I got some other like really weird Wii games and whatnot. I also got a bowling game for the GameCube. But yeah, I bought these very recently. I just kind of forgot I put them there, but you know, they exist too, so that's kind of cool. I also got an NES 4 score. This thing is pretty cool. And I also have this adapter for the Wii U that you can plug in and use a GameCube controller, since I definitely think the GameCube controller is my favorite controller to use. It feels really comfortable in my hand, and they definitely knew it, so that's why they made this adapter. Thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's not very easy to listen to me like ramble for a long time, but thank you for doing so anyway. Tell me if you collect games, or if you have some of these games, or if you collect only a certain console or a certain brand or whatever, or how big your collection is or something like that. At the end of the 2 previous videos that I showed my collection in, I gave predictions, I think, about where I thought the collection is going to be in the future. I'm not going to give a prediction this time around because I'm not exactly sure, because I'm running out of shelf space, and that's kind of what this is for, actually. It's kind of another shelf I need to build. But as you can see here, there's already some games that are like kind of extending over there, and it's like, okay, this thing needs to move somewhere else, and there's already a whole lot of stuff going on here, you know? So I really just don't know how it's going to look in the future. It might kind of look almost the exact same, you know? There might not be any sort of difference at all, and maybe there's going to be like 1 or 2 new games, and that's kind of it. But, you know, either way, thank you very much for watching.